So Robbie Lawler and RDA fought this past weekend. And man, I gotta say, RDA's performance was absolutely incredible. You know, going into this fight, I was pretty skeptical of how RDA would do. So he's had a few fights at welterweight already. He fought Tarek Safadine, he fought Neil Magny. I want to say he fought one more guy, but it's not coming to mind. It might have been just those two actually. And, he looked great in those fights. The Tarek Safadine fight, he won clearly, but I thought he should have been able to steamroll him. The Neil Magny fight, he just ran right through Neil Magny, wasn't even close. So that's really all I had to base his welterweight performances on. So going against Robbie Lawler, a former champion, and just a complete savage Robbie Lawler is. The guy can knock you out with any hand. He can knock you out with a head kick, a knee. I mean, he just is the epitome of a knockout artist. I had my doubts. I really did. I thought RDA was going to lose this fight. I thought he was going to get knocked out, in fact. So, what my prediction was Robbie Lawler by maybe a second round TKO. That's what I thought. I thought eventually he would just land something big on RDA and that would be the fight. But man, I was totally wrong. RDA dominated this fight everywhere. Those leg kicks, man. He just started to tear Robbie's legs up. He hurt him. He knocked him down with an elbow in the fight, hit him with some vicious body shots. He completely dominated the fight, and maybe if he was a bigger guy, a real natural welterweight, I think he's a little small, but he makes up for it with his technique and his speed. But he's not as big as Robbie Lawler. Like if you saw the weigh-in pictures, you see Robbie was much bigger. I would say Robbie's probably anywhere maybe 10 to 15 pounds heavier than RDA. So I think RDA may lack that kind of KO power to stop a lot of welterweights. I mean, obviously he hits hard. If he lands square on your chin, you're going to be in trouble. But he doesn't have the same kind of finishing power that a guy like Wonder Boy has, or a guy like Tyron Woodley, or Robbie Lawler, or Mike Perry. These guys that just really, Darren Till is another one, just real knockout artists that are just much bigger. But man, he makes up for it with his speed and technique. He rips guys' legs off, with his leg kicks. Not with his leg kicks, not with like heel hooks or anything, but like you saw what he did to Neil Magny, just kicked that lead leg. Neil Magny went right down. Didn't even have to take him down. But yeah, man, RDA looks phenomenal at welterweight. He definitely proved me wrong. I don't know if he's going to get the title shot next. I would like to see it. I really would. I mean, when we think about who's in line at the welterweight division, let's run through some names real quick. We have Darren Till. He's not ready for a title shot yet. He needs to do more work. He beat Cowboy. He looked great, but he needs to fight a little more. Wonder Boy, he's already had those close fights with Woodley. I don't think he's next in line. Perhaps if he fights and beats like a up and coming guy, he might get a third fight, but that's gonna be a hard sell. He needs to do something spectacular. Like he would need to like just starch like I don't know, just starch Damian Maya or starch, maybe RDA. But he's gonna have to. It's gonna be a lot harder to sell the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight again. Masvidal, he just lost, so he's not really in line right now. Maya lost, he's not in line. Colby Covington is in line. So when we think about who's really in line for the title shot, you have Colby Covington, Wonder Boy, RDA, and possibly Darren Till. So those guys are like probably the four that are, real close to being able to challenge for the next title shot. I would say personally what I would like to see as a fan is RDA take that title. I think his body of work is, better than all of them. He was a former lightweight champion. I just think he deserves it more. But I wouldn't be mad if you get some kind of title eliminator, like maybe put him against Wonder Boy for a title shot, or put him against Colby Covington for a number one contender spot. But I think RDA is definitely up there. You know, in terms of the next title challenger. And one thing that I love about RDA, man, is that guy is just a worker. He's just a hard worker. He doesn't have an easy road. He doesn't shit talk and, talk his way into a title fight. Even if you look at his lightweight career or his career at lightweight, he took a lot of fights before he got to that title, man. He's not someone that talks his way into a title shot. Like, he really has to fight. He's a fighter and he really works hard, and you can't deny him. He's not like, maybe a Conor McGregor who wins the, featherweight title and then moves up and immediately challenges for the lightweight belt. RDA, he was the former champion. He didn't get an immediate title shot. And I know he lost to Tony Ferguson and he lost to Eddie Alvarez, which is pretty crazy when you think about it, but still, like, you can't deny that if a former champion wants to move up, he should be able to move up and fight for the title right away. Or if not, at least don't start him with like a Tarek Safadine or Neil Magny. Put him against a top 3 guy right off the bat, and let's see how he does. So, I mean, he got that in this fight with Robbie Lawler. So, he's definitely next in line. Or maybe he'll fight for a number 1 contender spot. But, yeah, look out for Rafael. So, what do you guys think? Do you think he has what it takes to be the champion? Man, Tyrone is so tough right now. I don't know if anyone can beat that guy right now. Wonder Boy probably had the best shot. I don't think Colby Covington could beat Tyrone. Darren Till, he's still a question mark. We don't know. We haven't seen him against a good wrestler. We haven't seen him against, a big, strong wrestler, actually, I should say. So, he's still a question mark. And then Colby Covington, I don't think Colby Covington has what it takes to beat Tyrone. I think Colby Covington relies on his pace and his work ethic and his wrestling ability. But I think Tyrone could stuff his takedowns and just really beat him up in that fight. But we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.